Hello everybody! I hope the video quality and the sound is okay. Just let me know if there is anything wrong and I will be more than happy to adjust it for you. Is the sound coming okay to you guys? YouTube is giving me some errors saying my bitrate is set too low. Not sure what that means. Streamlabs OBS is showing okay, so I'm guessing it's okay. Just let me know in the chat if there is anything wrong. Oh great, Krill, welcome to the stream. So I am trying to understand the aircraft. I had very little time to play with it. So you all guys will be going to be guinea pigs with me. If something goes wrong, something goes wrong. So try to study my lesson. We'll see how good of a student I am when we start. I have watched a couple streams today from different streamers. All had some issues with the aircraft, so hoping that I will not have the same issues. We will see how that goes. So let's jump into the cockpit. We are going to take this slow today. We'll just go through the cockpit, maybe discuss the panels and whatnot a little bit, what panel does what, and then power her up, set our flight, and then be on our way to Frankfurt. Using live weather, but not live time at the moment. Obviously, it's on. Yeah, Krill, a little bit tricky. People had issues with the localizer. It didn't capture the localizer. On, I think, 3 out of 3 flights on one of the streamers, it was Filbert flies in the morning or afternoon rather. And then the British AV Geek also had some problems with autopilot not climbing well enough or so. So we'll see how mine goes. So let's jump into the cockpit. Oops, wrong button. And then as you see, she's completely cold and dark. And we'll start powering her up. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Actually, I had a lot of experience with the Citation CJ4. The avionics are very close to the one in the CJ4, so hoping to get the configuration done very quickly. The panels and switches, well, not that familiar with those, so we'll see how much I remember from the videos I watched. So first things first, actually, they all say when you go into the cockpit, you check the breakers to see and make sure nothing is popped out. Looks like it. So this is a simulator. I'm not expecting anything to pop. And then from there, we just check the nose wheel steering is off. Also, the hydraulic pumps should be off at the moment. The lights are off, passenger signs and everything. So I think we can turn the battery master on at this point. There we go. So the batteries are on. We have 2 screens powered on. And we'll power on the EFB. We are going to need it for the checklist. So let's call for the ground power unit and get it connected so that we don't drain the batteries. Let's clean these cautions and master warning. So the ground power unit is there and we already have the power available. Let's turn it on, and if we go to the electrical page here, we can see the ground power unit is connected and supplying 114 volts, and all the buses are now powered. And our screens are coming to life. Now, before it's too late, actually it has an item in the checklist, but I want to turn the IRS to, not the parking brake, IRS to now so that it starts aligning. Yeah, I have seen Filbert's tutorial, didn't get the chance to or time to watch it. So maybe tomorrow, if I do anything wrong, I'll just go and watch it. But I watched all the tutorials the dude posted before the aircraft even released. So hoping to remember most part of those tutorials and do the checks accordingly. Obviously, he did a lot more checks and went through all the panels and explained what status the buttons and knobs should be at. Uh, I'm I'm probably going to skip part of it because I don't remember them all, one, and then it takes too much time to go through all the panels in this thing. So while we are here, I set up some custom camera views. I was able to do that at least before the stream. So numpad 1 through 9, it takes me to EFB, this, and then pedestal. I have some wing views over here on both sides. I have the overhead panel, and then the door, and the lower pedestal, and then the upper pedestal and the FMCs. Let's start with opening the doors, because we are gonna need some passengers, right? And you can see the animation from inside, which is pretty neat. Although the cockpit door doesn't open, but they just did job for the interior. As you see, the textures in here are pretty low quality. I hope they will increase their resolution in the future when they release some updates or patches. So now we have the doors open. You go back to the stats page and then keep going through the originating checks. So the crew oxygen mask, that's over here. You just press that button and expect to see an X, and you hear the oxygen flowing, so that's working. Electrical power panel, we already checked that one. That's up there. We are using the ground power, battery master is on, and DC service is off. And we also verified the electrical information through the electrical AC, and if you press second time, it's the DC, and the TRUs, transformer rectifying units, are sort of transformers converting AC power to DC and powering their respective buses. Let's go back to the stats page. Fire detection monitor and Firex test. So we do this just to make sure fire detection systems are working. I'm gonna put this screen in a box, and I hope, yeah, it's not gonna show it to you, so I need to find a better way of doing it. I was trying to pop the ECAS screen, but the Streamlabs is not capturing that. Oops, didn't meant to do that. Alright, so let's press this and go quickly down below. It says fire systems test okay. Green message, I wasn't fast enough to catch it, but it looks okay. Okay, what else? Fuel panel, we already checked, fuel pumps are off. Though I think we need to call the fuel truck to refuel the aircraft. So let's go to the fuel panel at the back of the cabin, this guy here. Let's power it on and see. Yeah, we have 4,470. According to SimBrief, we only need 3,273 kilos of fuel. So let's call the fuel truck. It will take some time for that fuel truck to arrive, but we will know when it gets here. I haven't tested if it starts doing it automatically. Let's decrease this to 3,273 and see if it will start loading the fuel without waiting the fuel truck. I think that is good enough for, yeah, let's increase this one more time. 3,270, you idiot. Okay, this is the best we can get, I guess. Yeah, without the fuel truck, even without that, it starts loading the fuel. So maybe in the future they will wait for the fuel truck when they are doing this. So the fuel is being loaded. And let me see here, I'm trying to check the stream also and see the chat at the same time. Alright, what else? Fuel panel is checked, bleed air panel is normal, bleed air is normal, bleed valves are auto, isolation valve is closed at the moment, and bleed sources both engines. APU panel, APU is off, I already know that. It's that guy right there, nothing is illuminated. Start panel, that's below the APU, the engine start panel, it's looking okay, nothing is illuminated as well. Hydraulics panel, we just checked that, and from the videos the dude posted, he says they only turn the pump 3B on the hydraulic pumps. That's an electric pump, and that's what's used when the aircraft is on the ground, so let's just leave it on. ELT is emergency. What was that? I just looked it up, can't remember what it was. Let me see if I can find it again. Emergency locator transmitter, I guess that's what that is. Cabin pressurization panel. Okay, butchered that. Sorry about my accent. That panel is right here, and only thing we need to do is, well, set the landing elevation. First we need to go to the ECT page, that will show us the bleed, and then down below here, that's the cabin altitude, 16, which is the altitude for Bremen. Oh, the fuel truck is here. You are too late, buddy. Thank you very much. And then the landing elevation, we have to set it up. Frankfurt is 460 feet, so we'll set that up to 460. Hopefully, I will be able to do it without seeing the screen. There we go. That is that. I cheated. I just popped the window open and set it up. So that's set. And let's see what else. Air conditioning panel. We checked that PECs are currently off. Before the APU is running, PECs are not going to provide anything without zero bleed air, so we'll leave them off for now. Anti-ice panel, we checked that. Windshield heat, those are right here. Left and right windshield, we keep them at low. Emergency lights, that's this over here, we arm those. Standby compass, checked, nothing to worry about. Nose wheel steering is off. Clocks, they are set, I'm not going to worry about that. Instrument panels, we already checked those. Upper pedestal is checked. Thrust lever quadrant is at shut-off position. Avionics are checked, and we have IRS aligned right now. Yaw damper. So this, I struggled a little bit. Yaw damper is here, and there is a message over here saying yaw damper. If I try to press and engage this, that goes away, and on the stats page, okay, that's gone. Good, it didn't do it when I was trying to go through that. Source select panel, I think that's the nav source. It is FMS1. We can put the bearings there. We'll worry about those when we set up the radios. So that's the originating checks. And we can now jump and start programming our flight plan. I found a way to import the flight plan from SimBrief. So let's go to index, position initialization. First do this. Next page, copy the GPS position because it's aligned now. Go back and paste it here. So that's the GPS aligned. So with the flight plan, here is the trick. SimBrief has a tool that is called SimBrief Downloader. Let me see if I can share it. It will make more sense if I can. I need to add this to the window, I guess. Let's see, which one was this? Yeah, that one. Done. Turn this on. Now you should be able to see this. This tool has Aerosoft CRJ, and all you need to do is navigate to your Microsoft Flight Simulator package under your C drive. Mine is installed to E drive, but there is another folder under the C drive. If you follow this file path, it will take you to this, and then local state packages, Aerosoft CRJ. There is a work folder in there. That's the folder where it stores the flight plans. If you do this and then export the latest flight plan, which is this guy over here, I already did that part, so let me get rid of this window before I forget about it. Here is what you do. You just plug in, let me switch the screen to the side just a little bit to see the FMC better. You plug in your departure, Echo Delta Delta Whiskey, and then your destination, Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, and plug it to this route, which is used for company routes, and voila, it's loading the SimBrief flight plan. And when we execute, we'll have all the flight plan legs copied into the FMC. So that I found a little bit neat. You can also go in and, you know, plan your flight manually, but this will make things a little bit easier if you are just trying to get up in the air and have a flight pretty quickly. So from there, the dude was also, let me get rid of the yoke or move it down. He was also talking about some tests like radio altimeter test that you need to do. We can put some integrated writing on this panel, maybe just a little bit floodlights. These are the floor lights right there. We don't need them at the moment. Voice recorder, cockpit voice recorder test. You need to hold this button for 5 seconds and you'll see a green light. There you go. And the interesting thing is a lot of stuff is simulated in this aircraft. Not sure if there are anything in the sim that makes these simulated stuff usable. Let's say failures and whatnot, but I'm not sure if anything around those are implemented yet. So this is the anti-skid test, which gives you a message over here, anti-skid inbound outbound when you pull it to test. Main landing gear bay overheat test. So that's that, and then this is the second test of that. This is the lamp test, or the enunciated lamps test. It will turn on all the lamps in the cockpit for you to identify any bulbs or lights that are not working. There are two tests. One test lights up the left side, and then if you scroll to the second, it lights up the right side of the MCP, main control panel, and that is that. So these are the light switches, bright or dim, based on your preference. Let's clear this message. Route is loaded. We need to do the performance calculation shortly. And then from there, down to the pedestal panel, weather radars, you check that they are turned off. These two are the weather radars. Right now, I think they are not working. Hopefully in a future update it will. This is the standby radio. You just leave it at standby. And then This inhibits the radio tuning units, this one or that one. And the step trim, we need to engage these, and there is a test that takes about 10 seconds. Oh, I just changed something again. Spoiler step in test, and then it will go away when the test is finalized. Okay, it should go away shortly. There you go. So the step trim is now engaged, and from there we can engage the Mach trim, and yaw damper is already engaged. You just check, I mean, PA, and that he also talked about this, but I'm not going to do that. ADG and landing gear manual release should be disengaged or in. This is an air-driven generator. I am tempted to test this at some point. This literally releases a propelled fan outside the aircraft to generate some electricity when things go south. I haven't tested whether it's working or not, but I am tempted to do that. So from here, let's go down and calculate our performance. We have, according to SimBrief, how many passengers we have on board. We have 70 passengers on board. 70. That's that. We have 100 kilograms of cargo. And the fuel on board is 3,340. We'll plug that in here. Cruising altitude for today's flight is going to be flight level 190. And then alternate is flight level 100. All looking good. Let's check the next page. We can enter the cruise wind from the SimBrief flight plan. There's a section at the top saying average wind, and that I am seeing 350 degree from 350 at 50 knots. That's the cruise wind. We can plug this in here. And the ISA deviation average is -7 degrees. So we'll plug in here and execute that. VNAV setup transition altitude is going to be 5,000. Execute that, and I think that concludes our performance initialization. Yep, estimated departure time. I'm expecting the time right now is 9:42. Let's say we can probably depart in about 20 minutes, let's say 10 a.m. and that's our departure. All right, I think now we are ready to fire up the APU. So to do that, and we can turn on the nail lights because the aircraft is powered on, just to let the crews on the ground know that we have power to the aircraft. We'll turn on the APU fuel, and then we'll just hit the start, and then we should see an APU start, open, and there is a self-test that we missed that it is showing, but APU is now starting. We should be able to turn the packs on and provide some air to the cabin. Okay, let me see here. I hope all is still good on your end. I know this is a late night stream, so I am not expecting to see too many people viewing it, but I am going to do it for the people who are watching it and just for fun and just to test this aircraft just a little bit. So the APU should be now available. Yes, it is. We can now disconnect the ground power. Okay, and then turn the packs on. And we can also disconnect the ground power card. So that is now removed. And the APU is now online. Now we can turn on the passenger signs and do a final check of the FMC to see if we are missing anything. Departure arrival is there, already selected. Hold, we are not worried. Data, that's the legs page. That's looking good. Oh, we can advance and see our flight plan. So let's, I think it was this guy here. Yep. It will make more sense to go like this probably. Let's see if we can. Okay, that's the plan mode. So now we can just go through the waypoints and see if there's anything we need to take care of. Looking good so far. Looking good. What happened? All right. And I'm gonna check the legs page to make sure there are no discontinuities. There is one. And there is a duplicate waypoint. KERAX is listed there twice. Let's delete this. Execute that. Go to the previous page and let's delete the discontinuity. That should clean that up. And yeah. Okay. What else we got left? We need to set the barometric pressure. That's one. And right now, weather in Bremen, Germany is 2 degrees and the QNH is 1022. So let's set it up here. 1022. There we go. We need to do the same thing for the standby altimeter. 2, and then I think we need to set up the co-pilot one too. They are not synchronized, so let's do that as well. All right, all looking good now. What happened? Okay, I just hit the B key accidentally. So go back to the checklists. FMS is now set, IRS aligned, altimeters are set, landing elevation is set, radios and nav aids, yeah. So we are departing from runway 27 and we need to tune some VORs to get some situational awareness for our departure. One is the Bremen VOR 113.65, which is tuned here, and we can put it to DME hold and tune the second one, which is 117.45. And this will display them both here. So that's the DME hold, and that is the VOR1. Though, do we have the courses for the VOR? I think we don't. If we go to change the nav source, yeah, the course is 000, and it should be, let me see what, 266. So let's adjust the course so that we are looking to the correct side of the needle or correct direction. So that's set now. And then the second one for, oh, hold on. Yeah, that's 266. And then we have another VOR station 116.5. We'll just tune that to the standby. 116.5. And the course for that one is going to be 131. I'm not sure if we can, oh, we can tune it to here on the second radio, I believe. If I move the wheel a little bit up and do this, that was 116.5. Let's put it there as an active. Then we'll select VOR1 as the bearing for the first officer. Change the nav source to VOR1 and then set the course to 131. I am not seeing well enough from this distance, so I should be better off like this. Why it's not adjusting? Is that the active one? Yeah, that's the active one. Nothing here. So, and oh, the course is visible here. Okay, so let's see if we can adjust that. Okay, now it's working. 131. Very good. All right, the nav radios are set. We have an NDB station as well. We'll tune that to the NDB 318. I think I already tuned it. No, I didn't. So we'll tune it in here. Or we can do it from here very easily. Oh, 318, not 381. And that can go here. We can set our transponder code. Let's throw something in there. We are not using ATC, but it's good to have a transponder code. And that's that. So everything in terms of radios and nav aids are now set. I think we can now request the pushback tag and start our engines. So let's see here. We'll do this. Clear to start. APU is on. Electrics, we already checked that. We can check it one more time from the electrical page. Yep, all the buses are powered and looking good. Though we have to now think about closing the door. Thank you. Okay, the doors are now closed. We can now remove the chocks. And I think that is it for now. Now we can call the pushback tag. Let's do this. Now the tag is driving up. And what else we have over here in terms of messages? Not too much. Recirculation fan. We can turn that on. We can now arm the thrust reversers. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it until we start the engines. All right, the tag is almost there. Now it is. Let's release the parking brake and where we are pushing. So that I don't know yet. Let's see here. We are taking off from runway 27, so that makes sense to push the tail to the left. That's what we will do. What happened? Oh, did I open the door? There are some key binds where I don't know what's going on. I just tried to bring the map and it happened. So let's get going. So we'll start the pushback tag to push us, and then what we will do is we'll turn on the beacon light. Let me see the checklist real quick. Beacon is on. Fuel pumps. We'll turn on the fuel pumps. We already checked the quantity. And then the hydraulic pumps, we'll turn them all to auto. And then we can now start the right engine. So now the packs went off. And we can, I think, go back to... Okay, that. That looks better. Okay, let's ask the driver to push us to the left if he will. And I am watching the engine, so we have 22%. Let's move the throttle to idle. That's one. We should see a fuel flow. And the ITT should start rising now. Okay, I am seeing the taxiway. I think that's where we are going to use to get to the runway. So I think this might be a good point to stop the pushback. And then set the parking brake. And we can dismiss the tug when both engines are started. So engine 1 is looking good now. I'm still having this problem where M1 is going crazy, so not sure why. But I'm gonna start the second engine and see if that will help with that. The M1 is not dropping, and I already... maybe this. Okay. Maybe we need to calibrate the throttle. Oh, looks like it is calibrated. We'll see. Alright, move the latch, throttles to idle, then that should do. Okay, now it's going to back to idle power, which is good. Second engine is now starting. And let's see, let's check the lights. Beacons is now on. We'll turn on the taxi lights when we dismiss the pushback tug. Passenger signs are on. Packs are on. We'll turn on the fuel cross flow to manual. Let's go to the checklist, and after start checklist, generators are already at auto. Electrics are checked, bleed valves are auto, packs are on, APU. Now we can turn off the APU. We turn that off and then shut off the fuel. Anti-ice, we are not probably going to need it. We can arm the nose wheel steering when the tug leaves the aircraft alone, which I think we can just ask him to leave right now. And yeah, we can now start the chronometer and turn the taxi lights on, arm the nose wheel steering, and let's see, slats and flaps. We'll select flaps 8. There we go. Trims, okay, we are going to set the trim. Let's see the performance page. What trim setting we need? 7.2. So we need to change the trim to 7.2. There we go, that's set. Back to the checklist. Thrust reversers are already armed, instruments are checked, brake temperatures. Well, there's a wheel page, I believe, somewhere here. Is this that one? Not really. That's not that. Not that. Doors, we already confirmed they are closed. Okay, never mind. I can't find the door page. Anti-ice systems are off. So we'll do a flight control check. Brake temperature, I think is not there, but somewhere here, maybe. So we'll do full forward, center, full back, center, full left, center, full right, center, right rudder, center, left rudder, center. All looking good. And it says left engine oil pressure. What's wrong with that? Let's see. The pumps are on. Generators are auto. Huh. Well, maybe we just turn them on. Let's see. We still have that one. Because the left engine has not started yet. Oh my, okay. Didn't realize that. I don't know what happened there, so we'll start it again. That should go away shortly. And we can start our taxi from there. So the route that we will take for the taxi is, let me open the map from here without pressing any buttons. We are going runway 27, so we'll take this exit and then follow it along all the way to the runway. Great. Let me see the chat. I'm trying to see. Okay. Nothing is going on at the chat window. We should have a good engine start shortly. We can go back to the stats page. And all the warnings are now cleared. Crossflow, engine start is gone. Yep, okay, all the messages are cleared now, so we're good to go. Taxi lights are already on. We already checked the flight controls. We will now release the parking brake. Parking brake is released and off we go. Let's just head to the taxiway and keep ourselves on the taxiway. While we are taxiing slow, we can take a look at the wing views. The wings, it's not flexing, it's just, what's the proper word for it? Looks like it's trembling or something like that. And I'm not sure if they added the wing flex animation yet to this aircraft. They might have not. I am not sure about that. But for now, all is good. We'll turn on the flight director now. We'll select the speed mode and the nav mode. We'll set our cruising altitude. Let me see if we have any restrictions for our departure. 0, so we can perfectly climb up to our cruising altitude of 19,000 feet. It takes forever to set it. And we need to add some power to get her going. I wish I had a co-pilot setting couple things for me. Alright, so we should be good with 30% throttle on the taxiway. Alright. All is looking good. Alright, getting close to the runway holding short point. So let's switch to before takeoff checklist, and we'll do it while we are holding short. I think this is my first takeoff with this aircraft, so we'll see how she is handling shortly. Oops. What's going on? Why my throttle is increasing? Yeah, I can hear you, Poseidon. Having auto thrust is a lifesaver, especially when you are on wet sim. I agree with you on that. Not too bad, but you know, it is nice to have auto thrust. But you know, this aircraft is pretty much close to a business jet. It does have advisory VNAV. It doesn't have an automatic VNAV. It doesn't have auto thrust, but I think it will be fun to have this in the fleet and to be able to just fly this aircraft. So let's hold short here really quick. I am thinking about going on wet sim with this thing if this flight goes all well. So fuel crossflow, that is manual. Lights and strobes. So we'll turn on the landing lights, we'll turn on the strobe. Transponder TCAS. So transponder is set. We can go and change it to, oh, it's already on. So that's okay. Oops. Radar and terrain display, that's not working currently. And crew alert system messages, we don't have anything to worry about. So we'll just go and let's say ATC clear dust for takeoff. We'll line up and we'll see how she goes from there. One thing I haven't done is I didn't set the speeds, and I'll just set them through here very quickly by just cheating a little bit. Yeah, I feel you. Auto throttle, as I said, is a little bit important, especially when you have to deal with so many other things by yourself without help from a co-pilot. Flying on wet sim, it can be very challenging. I see you. And I'll try to fly this on wet sim, but it'll be a little bit interesting. I need to get used to the aircraft first. I need to practice and do some practice flights. And we can adjust the heading bug to 266. That is the runway heading, I believe. And let's stop here. Let me adjust the heading bug. And this head shake animation is a little bit overkill, if you ask me. It's a little bit too much to my liking. So that's the heading set. We'll probably go Toga. Flaps are, I think, already set. Yes, I can't see it though. Yep, it is. Oh, it's there. Okay, the flaps are set. Nothing to worry here. Everything looks good. And the one thing we can do is we can turn the packs off during takeoff. I think that's a real... Does it take some time for the packs to turn off? Not sure. I'm not sure if now they are off or on, because I don't see any annunciation. So We'll leave it alone. Okay. Engines are stable, and we'll go toga. Hopefully we can take off before the runway ends. But I must say, this aircraft handles a little bit smoother than the default aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, 100 knots is checked. And we rotate. There we go. I don't know why I need to pitch that much just to get off the ground, but positive rate of climb, so the gear is coming up. Now we can pitch down to match the flight director. There we go. We can pull throttles back to climb. We can go flaps 1 now. We can go flaps 0. And then speed mode, nav mode, and then autopilot. We'll climb at 240 and see how she does. And let's change the nav source again to FMS. There we go. Now we are good to follow the flight plan, I guess, because we are right there, needed to make that turn. I see the ice message, so let's turn on the anti-ice. We are probably not going to need the wing anti-ice. What's going on? Oh, I had to re-engage the nav mode, I guess. Or, not sure. Now we are turning. Good. We are turning. Let's go and do the after takeoff checklist, or climb checklist rather. We'll cross flow to auto, bleeds and APU. I think they are set. And thrust reversers can now go off. And I started to hear the pegs. We can check the bleed page to see if pegs are on. Yep, they are on. 21 degrees selected, and cabin is 23 degrees selected. I think that's good enough. And off we go. So, not sure what the aircraft is doing. Let me just check the route and see what she's trying to do. Maybe we'll synchronize the heading, we'll go heading mode and adjust the heading to join back to the flight plan route, and then engage nav mode from there. Oh, that's the barometric pressure warning because we just passed the transition altitude, so let's go standard. And we are about to pass 10,000. So now we can turn off the landing lights. Just now. There we go. All the lights are off. We can go back to the stats page. No warning messages, nothing. And we are rejoining with the flight plan route in a second. And from here we'll go nav in a little bit. Let's see if it will join. Okay, FMS1, climb at 240, we are passing 11,900, and now we joined back with the flight plan route. Alright, ice message is gone, so that means we can turn off the anti-ice systems. Oh yeah, not really. Okay, we'll keep them on. I messed with the wrong button. Okay, we'll keep them on. Never mind. Alright, back on route. And yeah. So we'll worry about the arrival I think we already have the arrival selected when we imported that from the SimBrief plan. ILS 25 left. Yes, that's correct. And we have a KERA 2 Golf arrival. And execute that. I think now we can, let me see the climb rate. We are still climbing pretty good. Anti-ice systems are probably drawing some of that back and causing us to lose some power. But all in all looking good if you ask me. All right. Let me see. Now I can fiddle with other stuff like the Streamlabs and what the stream is doing, the quality and all that. Looks like everything is looking good. No issues there. And we are almost at our cruise level, so that is good. And then we will increase the speed when we reach cruise level. We could have gone higher than 250 after passing 10,000, but that would have affected our climb rate, so I just left the speed at 240 until we climb. This is something I'm used to from CJ4. So the altitude is now captured. There we go. And now we can go higher range, I guess. There we go. That's better. And we are at cruise, so we'll increase the speed. And where it was, yeah, that's the Mach units. Yep, that's the Mach units. We can turn that on, but we don't have to. Below 29,000 feet, I would say. We'll increase the speed to close to 200. That should be our cruising speed as far as I remember, and then maintain the throttle when we get close to cruise. That is getting there. So the speed is up. We don't want that. We'll just keep it around 65, 66. That should do. Or maybe, yeah, 74, 75 rather. Looks better ballpark for the speed. Somehow the throttle quadrant I have is quite sensitive in this aircraft, even though I have a linear sensitivity. I'm not sure what's going on there. It keeps jumping. As you see, I'm pulling it back and then it goes back to 77. It doesn't stay. I think I'm gonna leave it like this and do not mess with it. Yeah, the cockpit is quiet, though my desktop audio is tuned down. Yeah, there is some wind noise. If I go desktop audio to 100%, you'll probably start hearing everything I'm hearing. Okay, so let's see the performance page real quick. So advisory VNAV is what we are going to use. Our target speed is 290, so we are a little bit over that. But I think that's fine. That will reduce our flight time. And the descent, yeah. I think this aircraft calculates the top of descent. I'm seeing some stuff over there which I cannot read at the moment. But we are Let me see. Legs page. Next. Oh, there is a discontinuity right there again. Huh. Not sure how that happened. Let's get rid of this. Execute and make sure there is not another one. Alright, now it looks good. Oh, no, it doesn't. See, there's KERAX, get, and KERAX again, and then get again. So, okay, we need to do some work here. Delete this instance. We'll delete this instance, and then we'll execute so that the waypoints are not doubled. So KERAX get MTR or View. Yep, now it's looking good. Okay. I think we will see the advisory VNAV. We are speeding up, so we should slow down a little bit. We will see the VNAV path when we start the descent, and it should give us a snowflake. What is this? Cross. I don't know. I still need to fiddle with this MCP panel to see the aircraft modes, autopilot modes, I'm sorry. But we are currently using nav mode, and then we will, yeah, we will switch to vertical speed to descent and see what happens after there. I have seen a couple people not being able to capture the glide slope, capture the localizer, but not the glide slope. We might as well go in there and see the arrival. M1117. Yeah, don't do this. It will mess up the flight plan again. Let's check here. Cruise 300. Okay, we have descent 290. Path angle is 3 degrees. Descent info. Okay, so that's giving us the descent information. What we have here, is that the same page? That's the same page. Performance initialization, we already did that part. That part is also done. Where's database, defaults? Yeah, I think we'll just tune the ILS frequency of Frankfurt, runway 25 left. And see what happens. Approaches ILS 25 left. I'm just checking the chart. Yeah, we do not want a transition, I guess. Yes, let's see here. Yeah, we don't want a transition. We'll just do so from orbit EDDF261 from that key. Okay, I think I'm gonna change my mind and do a DF262 transition. And execute this, go back and check the legs page for any discontinuity. Yep, same stuff happened again. Next page, execute that. I think now we are looking good. We can go and check that real quick. And next waypoint, next. Oh, see, there is another KERAX again. Right here. Same waypoints. So this is, I'm not sure why happening. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of this KERAX on the previous page. Execute. Now we should be good. Yep. And we don't even need MTR. So where is MTR? We can get rid of MTR and execute that. That should take us directly to the start of the approach. One more to delete. That is this guy here, because we don't want to mess around, go back and forth when we are trying to land. So now this is looking better. We could have gone from KERAX to direct DF262. We can try to do that when we reach KERAX, and that's our top of descent. So all looking good now. Let's go back and increase the range. Now this looks good. Speed wise, I think everything is okay. All right. Let's see her from outside. I think the 3D model is beautifully done. I have nothing to say about it. It looks great, very detailed. Even with my poor graphics card, I think you guys are seeing the quality of the airframe. I have a GeForce 1070 Ti, and I am at 2K resolution, streaming at 1080p. So this is pretty impressive. With what I have, it looks great. I am hoping to get my hands on my GeForce 3060 Ti if they can ship it. I pre-ordered like 2-3 months ago. It's 19th of December last year, and still haven't heard anything about the shipment. Hopefully I will get it soon. And I was looking here. I didn't see an okay, is this the integrated lighting for the overhead panel? Not really. That's interesting. Oh, it might be. I'm not sure. Because there should be some integrated lighting for the overhead. Or maybe this. Let's see. Looks like it. This is not bad. This is the floodlight right here. I see it now. And that is that floodlight. Okay. And oh, we have the heads-up display in this thing as well, sitting right there, which we can bring down and decapitate the pilot while it's coming down, and it actually works. We might try to use this during landing to have better situational awareness while we are keeping our eyes on the runway. So let's synchronize that heading bug and go range one level down. That's better. So far, no issues that the other streamers have experienced. So knock on wood. I'm not sure what I did different, or maybe it might be a mod that they have I don't, conflicting with this aircraft. That's less likely though, due to the language they use to code this aircraft. But still a possibility, I guess. Okay, we have the descent checklist. We still have some more time to go until our top of descent. That's coming shortly. Landing elevation. We already said that. Fuel. Okay, let's check. We have still 3300-ish. Radar, as I said, nothing is happening. Even if I turn the radar on to weather, nothing comes on. So we will leave the radar alone. Landing data. Okay, that I think we haven't done yet. Let's go to the performance page. What is it? We have a V2 of 141. So let's set that the hard way this time. And press this, select V2. That's 141. And then we reference of 134. We'll put it to here. So that's our landing speed, 134. That's set. And VT, let's see if it's there. Oh, it's over here. 185, 187. So let's adjust that just a little. Okay, that's set. Runway probably going to be dry. Not expecting any rain in Frankfurt, so we should be good. And yeah, we're getting close to our top of descent right there. Let's see if there are any altitude restrictions that we need to respect. That's 4000. Let me check the approach chart real quick. Localizer frequency is 111.15. Let's tune that to nav1. Standby. 111.15. And let's make that active. Alright, we are seeing it on here. And ILS frequency is set. The expected altitude to capture the glide slope is 4000, so that will be our selected altitude for descent, which we can set the altitude now, because I don't see any other restrictions other than 4000, so we can go all the way down to 4000. And wait until we hit the top of descent for the advisory VNAV and start our descent there. Okay. I hope the wind noise is not too bad for you guys. It bothers me just a little bit, but hopefully you're not getting as much wind noise as I do from my headphones. Okay, let's synchronize that heading bug one more time. And we'll keep the descent speed at 290. Getting close to 10,000, we will drop the speed to 250 and slow the aircraft down. Let's see here. I am trying to see a little bit better, so we are making the turn to KERAX and to our top of descent. And let's see what advisory V now tells us. I'm still not seeing any VNAV descent. I'm not sure if it will start after we start to descend. Maybe we can now. We'll go VS mode, and then we'll go 1,000 feet down. Okay, now I started to see the VNAV blue donut on the pilot display, and the legs page should give me actually it does not give me anything, so I'll respect that donut and try to match the V speed of 2,000 feet per minute, slow the aircraft down to 290 knots, drop the speed to 290 knots, and that's the descent started. The hood brightness, I'm not sure if there are any knobs around here for setting the brightness up. This doesn't work, so I think that's a fixed brightness for the hood. And yeah, I know we haven't set the transition altitude and it started flashing for the descent. So we'll do 5,000 again and update this. It should now fix that problem. And we'll switch to the local altimeter. By the way, the aircraft is doing something crazy here, so I'm not sure if it lost the flight path or something. It is doing some weird stuff. Maybe it's just the turns. It's trying to make the turns without overshooting them too much, but we'll see if it goes back to the flight path. Gianpaolo, I am not really suffering any FPS or performance drop after the World Update 3. I'm still seeing the same FPS values, even with the rather old graphics card, a GeForce 1070 Ti. I'm still getting 37, 36 FPS right now in this aircraft. We'll see how it looks like when we get close to Frankfurt and ready to land. I think this is what makes me a little bit nervous. It's showing a path of 2,100, so I have to increase the descent speed a little bit. And then hopefully we'll make it to 4,000 before it's too late. Let's slow down to 250. I know. I'm not sure how we will be able to slow this thing down while it's descending at that rate. So we might take a detour, use the heading mode just a little bit to bleed some speed and altitude and come back to the nav route. Because it just worries me that we are getting very close to the airport and we are almost getting close to below 10,000. Okay, we can maybe. And the speed brakes are the last reserve. I don't want to use the speed brakes to slow down. But this is what I will do. I will increase, increase the vertical speed. What's going on? Now I started to have some problems with the V speed mode. Why are you doing this? Okay, hold on. Let's correct this first. Okay. It's going all the way to the other side now. So, and we are rapidly losing the altitude, so we should increase the throttle. This is where the problems start. We'll turn on the landing lights and the taxi lights as well. And we'll go back to V-speed and drop it down to -1.5. Okay, that should do. Slow down, please. And keep the speed around 250. Let's see. We started to pick the ILS signal. I guess that's what that blue needle is. So we can get rid of some of the bearing sources here. And we can keep the VOR1 needle. Final approach course. I have to look that up. Because we haven't set that up yet. Final approach course is 248. So we will set that up when we switch the nav sources. But now we are passing below 10,000. We should slow down. Thanks, Kirill. Thank you very much. Oh, 3:45 a.m. Thank you very much, and hopefully I will bother that landing. Thanks for staying in the stream even it's too late there. Appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Okay, we'll go heading mode because that LED key is our LED key is our final approach fix, if I'm not mistaken. So we are well above 4,000. And that happened because of me deleting couple waypoints and reducing the distance. So what we can do is we can go to the hold page, right? And then we can do a hold at maybe, what was that waypoint? Delta Echo 621. So let's see, Delta Echo 621. Do this, no. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe we can do a hold on at LED key until we reach. Okay, LED key, execute, go back to nav mode, and then turn around back to LED key. The aircraft should turn around. And we will hold that LED key until we drop to 4,000, because we are almost there though. We are almost there. The speed is looking good. Thank you very much, Krill. See you later. Okay. Let's see, increase the range a little bit and see what's happening. Okay, we are turning to the holding point. We'll do a one hold and then go back and then activate our approach and try to land this thing. And hope that it will capture the localizer, because it didn't with some other streamers. We need to increase the speed and keep it, maybe, I think it's okay to keep it around 220. Now we can switch to standard or local pressure setting. I'll just cheat and press the B key, which will get us to the local pressure. And then we will descend and maintain the, let's get the vertical speed to 500 feet per minute while we are getting to the hold. And after the hold, we will start our landing checks. Let's see here. Okay, before landing, flight attendants are advised, passenger signs are on because I never turned them off, I believe. Oh no, they are on now. Thrust reversers are now armed. Landing gear, we will drop it, and flaps and slats, we will worry about that when we capture the glide slope. So right now, we are approaching the hold. We will enter the hold, do one hold, and then exit the hold after that, and start deploying the flaps while we are in the hold, and drop the speed, which we already have dropped. I should add some more throttle. So this is a little bit the challenging part, to keep an eye on the throttle when you don't have auto thrust and when you are dealing with other stuff. It's a co-pilot in this case will be much appreciated if you don't have auto thrust and dealing with other stuff by yourself. Okay, we are entering the hold now. Yep, we do enter the hold. We'll keep the speed around minimum clean speed of 210, and then when we make the turn to the hold, we will start deploying the flaps and slow us down to get to our final approach fix. I'm not sure where the hold is starting, so the aircraft is doing something weird at the moment, if you ask me. It's gonna probably go here and then turn around, so we should better slow down and start deploying the flaps right now to at least flaps 1, and then we'll take it from there. We can also turn around right now and go back to just arm the hold. Exit is armed now. And speed is looking good so far. We are still at 210. We are slowing down to 200. I will go flaps 1 shortly. Let's go back to the legs page because we are done with the hold. It's gonna exit the hold and then go continue to lead key and exit the hold there. So it's gonna, well, all right, we need to change this. Can we go direct? Or we should wait for the aircraft to exit the hold. I'm not sure. This was a little bit unexpected to go into the hold, so maybe we'll just go direct. Lead key from here. Execute that. And now we should turn around and go directly to lead key, and I can start deploying the flaps. I'm gonna keep the speed at around, I don't know, flaps 8 speed maybe. And we need to climb back to 4,000, which we are not doing well. Now we should start climbing. Okay. Now we can keep the speed like that because we don't want to stall, and it's going a little bit crazy now. Max throttle and the aircraft is doing very weird stuff. Okay, not liking this. Hopefully we will start climbing. I'll keep the nose down as much as I can, trying to pitch down because it's going haywire right now. There we go. Now we captured the altitude, but we are now overshooting the altitude. Interesting. Maybe we should disengage the autopilot and then engage it one more time. Hopefully now we can go back to V-speed mode and then go back to yeah, the flight director is doing very weird stuff right now, and it went back to roll and pitch mode. Trying to go down to 4,000. Hopefully we will. What are you doing, aircraft? I'm not sure. I am not really sure. Maybe we should just go manual at this point. Or maybe it will start going down. Or maybe it's the speed. Maybe it is the speed. Not sure. There is some weird stuff happening right now. I'm trying to go down and she is not following my commands. We are back to 8,000 feet. Very nice, very nice, very nice. That tells me to do this. Go sideways until we bleed some speed and drop the altitude. Back down to 4,000. Well, I wasn't expecting to have any problems, but we did have some problems where the autopilot went crazy, didn't respect any command, and did that thing. But we're good. We'll turn around. We'll come back to it. We'll just do a simple turnaround maneuver to drop down to 4,000 feet, which we are doing right now, and then it should capture the altitude and stay at 4,000. The people had problems where they were at level flight with capturing the glide slope and the localizer. We'll see if that will happen to us as well. Let's turn just a little bit more and go there, and then we will switch the nav source to localizer. Okay, now it's looking good. We are getting down to 4,000. The speed is a little bit more than I like, but we'll be okay. By the time we make the turn, we'll probably be at 4,000. Let's see the heading back, and we are going directly at key. Maybe we should just do a little bit with an angle so that we can turn around and get back to lead key. Okay, we captured the altitude now, which is a good sign, I guess. Now the aircraft is slowing down. I need to keep an eye on the speed. And keep it at around 220. That's my we are not at speed mode, but I'm just putting it there for my own reference. Great, so when we get there, we'll probably do this. We'll just go a little bit parallel and then turn around, arm the approach mode, and see what happens from there. We are already slowing down. That's good. We don't want to slow too much though, so we'll increase the throttle. So that we don't lose altitude. There we go. That's good. And then what else? Now I think we can turn around safely to there, and maybe even more. Arm the approach mode now, and hopefully it will capture the localizer, and then we will worry about the final approach course, which I forgot by now. That's 248. Okay, so let's see here. Should we change the nav source? Maybe we should. And course is 248. There we go. Now we are on localizer. The aircraft should do its thing from here on. I am slowing down to deploy the flaps to flaps 1. That's flaps 1. And that's the airport. Finally, we are at least let's go to nav mode. We are seeing the airport at least. From this point on, we should be good. Okay, we captured the glide slope. We'll go flaps 8 now. And we started to descend, which is a good sign. Our approach speed was 134, and we'll just go 141 until the short final. So let's do this. Slow ourselves down. Great thing that we captured the localizer and the glide slope. Most streamers didn't have that luck today, as far as I watched their streams. Alright, we are slowing down. The aircraft is trying to get back on course and capture and stay on the course with the localizer. We are slowing down nicely. We'll go flaps 25, I believe, right now. Go flaps 20. And that is the runway. 25 left. Okay, flaps 30. I think we can now deploy the landing gear. Oh, the minimums, we haven't set the minimums. What is the minimums for this airport? That's 462, so we'll go to MDA, press that, set 420 there very quickly. Okay, lights are on, passenger signs are on. We are all set for landing. Speed is looking good. We can go flaps 45. And that should be the last level of flaps that we are going to need for landing. And we'll keep the speed. We need to add some throttle. The speed is dropping. And the response is not instant. When you add throttle, it takes some time for the engines to spool up and get you to accelerate the aircraft. But now it's looking good. All right, we'll keep the throttle around 60% and 1, even though I'm having trouble with adjusting that, so I'll probably keep one of my hands on the throttle. All right, all is looking good so far. We are, I believe, still on the glide slope. Yes, we are. This doesn't show anything, and it's very, to me, it's a little bit high, so that's the flight director showing us the current state. So let's get rid of the hood, shall we? Okay, we are a little bit high now. 1000 is checked. We'll disconnect the autopilot. So it's my plane now. Let me see, we have a little bit of crosswind coming from the right. It will push us to left. So we'll maintain that heading and try to correct ourselves. We are dropping below the glide slope a little bit. Need to pitch the nose up. And that looks good. 500 is checked. Make small corrections here. So first time landing this aircraft. So if I mess it up, I mess it up. I hope I don't crash. Speed is not looking great, so we should add some throttle and speed her up. That is probably the main reason why we lost the glide slope. Yeah, we are coming too low now. All right, back on track. We saved it, looks like. Okay, at least we didn't crash, so that is a good sign. We'll take the next exit to the right, so we are down to 60 knots. Reverse thrust is disengaged now. We can bring the flaps in and brake just a little bit and take this high-speed exit to vacate the runway. All right, so now what we can do is we can do the after landing. I need to slow down a little bit to be able to do that, because it will create some problems if I try to do it while we are rolling. All right, landing lights can go off. We'll keep the taxi light for now. We'll turn the strobe off and we'll fire up the APU. All right, now it is down to finding ourselves a parking spot, and that will be probably, we need to cross a runway that's ahead of us, as far as I can tell by just looking to it. And we'll exit through there. Yep, we have to pass through a runway, so strobe goes back on. We'll take this exit, turn around, And hopefully this taxiway will take us to the terminal. Now strobe is back off. And let's just correct ourselves. The camera view, so flight director now can turn off. And I think I'll just pass directly to there and find the parking spot over there. Okay, all is looking good now. And what we should do is we should probably take a right turn from here and try to find ourselves a parking spot. Somewhere over, maybe, yeah, somewhere over that side. Looks better. I just butchered that turn, looks like. Yeah, we'll use this taxiway. Okay, all in all, that wasn't bad. The aircraft actually behaved well. It's hard to manage the throttle, so that I can tell you. Because the aircraft I am used to so far, the default ones, the throttle response is instant. This one doesn't do that. So if you are coming low on speed and if you need to speed up to keep your altitude and stay on the glide slope, you have to maintain your throttle very closely and monitor what you are doing. So that's my personal opinion and experience after one flight with this aircraft, and that was my first landing. So, and I'll keep practicing and learning this aircraft more, I guess. Okay, so let's turn around, take a left turn from there and find ourselves a parking position. Somewhere over there maybe. Let's take this left. Alright. Looking good, and there are plenty of parking places or ramps here, so we'll just use one of them to park the aircraft. I am probably going to park to the next spot after that aircraft, if that's empty, next to the light pole, somewhere here. No, it's not empty. We'll keep going. We'll find this spot. We will find some place to park this thing. This might be the GA area of the airport, so we'll just go around and trying to find a spot back there. Not the best taxi route, if you ask me, because I didn't plan for the gate or the ramp that we will be parking. But I think it's okay to fiddle with this a little bit. Yep, we'll take this left and hopefully we'll find a spot back there. And every time I touch my throttle, it just goes crazy. We should be able to take this turn. Nice and easy. And we'll do the shut-off, or, you know, after landing checklist. I think we skipped that or did it out of memory. Okay, still trying to find the parking spot. It's becoming very hard to do that. So, oh yeah, I know, I'm just back to where I started, I guess. Let's turn around, don't fiddle with this too much. I'll just butcher the taxi route and go through the, yeah, go through there. Get back on the taxiway. Maybe we will park just there, next to that United Airlines airplane. If there is an entry there. I don't see the entry, and that's why I'm just wandering around. We'll just use there. That's good enough. We'll use here to park. All right. I think that's our parking spot, right in the middle. And we'll stop right here. And correct the nose just a little bit. Yep. Set the parking brake. Parking brake is on, and let's go through the checklist. So this is all done. We can turn the probes off now. And parking brake is set, seatbelt signs. So let's relieve the passengers. Actually, that's off now. Taxi light can go off. We'll turn off the nav lights will stay on. Fuel pumps to off. Okay. Oh, thrust lowers to shut off. So we haven't shut down the engines yet, so we'll just do that. If we can. Come on. Okay, that's one. That's two. Engines are now shutting off. Beacon now can come off because engines are shut down. Nose wheel steering, we disarm that. And then go to the terminating. Chokes and brakes. So we'll set the chokes. And then actually we'll do this. We'll open the door and let the passengers out first. And then IRS will turn them back to, oops, wrong button, off. That is done. Anti-ice systems, now we can turn them off. And what else? Hydraulic pumps, they all go back to off. External lights, now we can turn all the external lights off. Thank you, Boise. Appreciate it. APU is, yeah, we'll turn that off. And the cockpit lights are already off, so we'll deal with those here in a second. APU, we'll turn that off, and we'll turn the battery master off. There you go. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator thinks the stream is ended, and it crashed at the end. Very nice. Now you shouldn't see anything. A black screen. At the end of the stream, it decided to crash, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the flight. I won't be able to run the simulator back up, and I will say goodbye from here. Until next stream, take care and stay safe.